Good morning, everyone. It is Brenda Quintana here, and I am live with a project this morning using the Cup of Christmas bundle from Stampin' Up. And I know you're going to love this project. It's a 3D project, so I know you love my 3D projects, and it's using chocolate. So what's not to love about that? So I am going to flip over to my camera and show you the project I'm going to make. And I just wanted to remind you that if you are an email list subscriber, you can get a project sheet for this tutorial. I will send it out this Saturday. And if you are a new subscriber, you can get it as well. But this is only available to my email list subscribers. Now you can do the tutorial without the project sheet, but let me tell you, it is so much easier when you have a project sheet in front of you to be able to do that. Okay, let me switch my camera over so I can show you what we're gonna make. And I just noticed we have a little bit of a lighting issue, so let me just see if I can add some light to my project area. Thought I had everything tested out, but let me grab some more light. Light. This camera that I have is particularly dark, and it's hard sometimes to gauge a light because I have a lot of light coming in from the side. But here is my project. Look at this. It is a little cup with Hershey's Nuggets in it. And I really like this because I followed the line of the cup, so it looks really nice from the side, and it perfectly holds 3 Hershey's Nuggets. So it makes a cute little favor. And if you use the wrapped in plaid paper, you can make them up in all the different plaids, and it's just going to look phenomenal. So I'm going to show you how I made this from start to finish. And so let me just set these aside for a moment and we'll get started. Here is the project sheet. Now, don't forget to subscribe to my email list, or if you're already a subscriber, you're going to get this in your inbox on Saturday. Nice thing about this, I have some photos on page 2 that kind of just give you a breakdown of what your scored piece should look like, and that way there's not a question on how to do that. And has a supply list, and later on I will put in the video tutorial and a link to my blog down at the bottom. All right, and now the Cup of Christmas bundle is key for this. You need these dies right here, and also the candy cane is very necessary for this project. Now I'm also using the Merry Christmas out of this stamp set, and tomorrow or Friday I'm going to have another project using the Cup of Christmas bundle, so it's really a best idea to get both of them so you can use them together. All right, let's get started with our piece of cardstock that we're going to need to score. And I did Whisper White cardstock as the base. This piece is 4 3/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to grab my scoring board here. And we'll start off by scoring the skinny side. So put the small short side up at the top, and you're going to score at the 3/8 inch mark and the 1 3/8 inch mark. Then turn this on its side, and then you're going to score at the 1 3/8 inch mark, the 1 7/8 inch mark, the 2 7/8 inch mark, and the 3 3/8 inch mark. So that is all the scoring you need to do. This is what the piece looks like. And now you're going to take some tear and tape. It's easier to do this with tear and tape because you can put all the adhesive on at once. You could also use Tombow, but I thought for this project we'll use tear and tape. So I'm going to put a line of the tear and tape along the skinny, long scored segments. So let me grab my scissors. You can tear this tape, but I was like a clean edge, so I'm going to cut it. So do the same for the other side. And it's a little hard to see because the Tear and Tape liner is white on white, but I think you can see that the Tear and Tape is here and here. Okay, so now we're going to cut these pieces. And if you have any questions while I'm doing this, please let me know, because since I'm live, I can answer them when I'm live. Okay, good morning to everyone who's joined me. Let's cut little V's in these long, skinny sides. So have the long side facing towards you. And I'm just going to cut little V's just along the score line till I hit the first score line. I'll pull those little chads off in a moment. Let's see, good morning. Oh, we've got lots of different states represented. Michigan, Washington, Oklahoma, and I'm in Massachusetts, so that's really cool. So you can see these little V's that I'm doing right along the score lines, and we'll do the same for the other side. This is probably the hardest part. It's not hard, it's just the most tedious part of my project. And then let me pull away these little guys. Sometimes they like to stick right at the end point. Okay, and then shove those away. Then we'll just angle cut the ends just a little bit. Very easy peasy. Angle, angle. All right. Okay, so now this scored piece is all ready, and I'm going to need 2 of these cups cut with the dies. And you'll notice these dies, there's 2 of them. So go ahead, take a piece of thick Whisper white and run both of these through at the same time. That way you can, you know, just do it in one fell swoop. You don't have to run it through twice. So then we're going to remove the middle Tear and Tape liner. So just, oh, I have no thumbnails today. It's terrible. All right. Okay, so just remove those 2 middle ones. And then I'm going to center the bottom of this cup on that piece, on that little tab. And one thing I'll make sure is that it's just above that score line. Like it's almost right on the score line, but not covering the score line completely. So it's just kind of, you can kind of just see the line just a little bit underneath it. Then we've already removed that from the other side. So we're going to make sure our handles are on the same side. Okay, so just make sure it's centered. I can kind of do it easier going this way. So let me just flip. Okay, that looks centered. Okay, so now it is ready to finish off. Actually, I could fold these along the score lines. That would help me a lot. So let me just fold the little tabs. I think I need to add that to my instruction sheet. Fold along the score lines. I will make sure I add that. But it's kind of intuitive because you're going to have to fold it when you do. Then you'll remove all the liner. I like to do this all at one time so that I don't have to stop once I'm sticking it to the sides. And I'm sorry, my thumbnails. I had a split in my nail last night, so I cut my one nail pretty short. So normally this isn't as hard as it looks. Let me see, where else do I have? Another person from Washington and someone from Ontario. Well, northwestern Ontario. That's, I went to school in Ontario, and my son was born in Ontario, but not northwestern Ontario. Northwestern Ontario. So you must be up somewhere by Lake Superior, maybe? You'll have to let me know if you get this message. Yeah, and my son is in school right now at the University of Waterloo. So that's up in Canada. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere these sides to the cup. So I like to, instead of trying to get this little skinny tab, the next one over, I actually use the bigger tab and I bring it in and I line up that top corner with the top corner of the cup. And then I just, next I line up the side, and I don't push it down all the way until I'm ready. And then once it lines up with the side, then I'm good to go. Then on the other side, I do the same thing. I'll line up the side and then push that out a bit. So you can see the cup is coming together. And then I'll do the same thing from the other side, corner of the cup to the corner top piece right here. And I just kind of, you sometimes have to just pull it up a little bit. Okay, and then do this last side, pull it up, make sure it's running right along the edge of the cup. And then just go back and just give those little spots of adhesive a little bit of a push. So there is the basis of the cup. So now you can decorate it up however you want, but I'll show you how I did mine. I used this beautiful wrapped in plaid paper, and again, I ran through my cups. So when you run through your cups, this is one I did with a different paper, but you want to run them through like this on the same side. And that way you're going to get the right type of cups. You'll have one for this side and one for that side. You want to run them through like that on the same side, both of them, so that you get the right dies or the right side that you need for both of those cups. I don't know if that makes sense at all, because if I ran through two of these on the same side, the handle would be facing the wrong way for the reverse side, is what I'm saying. I hope that makes sense. But it's just easier to run them through both at the same time so that, you don't have to run something through twice. Okay, so then I'm just going to take the back of this cup and put some Tombow on it. And then I'll just add that to here. And then I'll flip this over. So this is nice. It can be a left-handed or a right-handed cup, and you could put the greeting on whatever side you want. I just have to put it on the right side because I'm right-handed and my brain can't function otherwise. But if you're left-handed, it will make sense to put everything on the left-handed side. Now, you can decide, the main colors in this cup I've decided are Shaded Spruce, Cherry Cobbler, and Night of Navy. So what I would do is, if I was making up a bunch, I would decide which of these papers would have a red ribbon, which would have the navy, and which would have the Shaded Spruce. I decided on this one, it's got mainly the Cherry Cobbler color. So I'm going to color my ribbon to be Cherry Cobbler. So this ribbon is awesome. It's been in the catalog, I think, for at least a year, but it's the gold edge metallic, the gold metallic ribbon, but the satin in the center can be colored. So you'll take your Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Blends, and I'm just going to use a scrap piece of paper. I'm using the brush tip on the side, and look at this. I actually really enjoy doing this. It looks like it's so much fun to see the ribbon turn color. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm going to flip it to the other side so that I can just more easily get this side. So when you're doing this, this is soaking through pretty nicely, but if you want to flip it over and look to see if it didn't come through so nicely, I'm going to be cutting off the ends, so I don't need to worry so much about the ends. But right here, I just want to make sure it looks good from both sides, just in case my ribbon gets flipped. Okay, this is pretty dry already, but just in case it isn't, since I'm handling it right away, I'm just gonna grab this by the end, fold over my sheet and just do this, because the metallic edges don't absorb the ink quite as well. So if I got any on the metallic edge, it's just a nice idea just to run it through so your fingers don't get messed up. Now what you could do is you could also, if you have some time, just set this aside for a moment and then you can just let it dry on its own, so it's not a problem. Okay, I need to grab some nuggets, which I forgot to get across the room. Yes. I had to go out and rush out and get nuggets yesterday because I was almost all out. Let me see here. You want to mirror images. Yeah, Cindy, that's right. You do a mirror of the images. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that has come along. Ah, Janice says she's we're on the shores of Lake Superior with the U.S. We're 3 hours from Duluth, Minnesota. Huh, very cool. I've been up to Lake Superior before, but just past, is it Sault Ste. Marie? We didn't get too much further past that. So I just take 3 of these nuggets and I slide them in here, and they're snug but not super tight, like, so you can get them back out, but they stay in there pretty well. But when you tie the ribbon on top, then they're not going to go anywhere, and it adds a little decoration to the top of here. So I'll do my first little knot, and then I'll take my locking tweezers, and I'm just going to create a support for the end of my locking tweezer by lifting up one of these cups. I'm going to clamp right here, and then I'll do my second knot. This just saves me so much time, and I can create much nicer looking knots when I clamp down. Okay, that looks pretty nice. And then I'll just take my ribbon scissors and I'll just come in and just cut those off. Doesn't that look cute already? I think I've done this a little bit out of order of my project sheet, but some of these things can be done out of order. Like, you don't have to do the little tag and the ribbon in the same order. You can do them out of order. Okay, here's my Merry Christmas. And then I'm matching the color of my ink to the color of my ribbon. So I try to keep things coordinated. Notice I use navy here and the shaded spruce here. So I'll just do a little coordination. And this piece right here is, let me think, it is 1 3/8 by 5/8 of an inch. I'm just gonna center this on here. And now I can add this to the front. It's a little crooked, of my cup. And I chose this greeting because it's a little bit smaller than some of the other ones, and that way I can see my pattern paper. And basically, to line this up, I just line it up next to this handle right here, the opening of the handle, and I just kind of center that to give it that look. Now, the last thing that I think makes this look really cute is adding a candy cane. So again, where's my little pieces? The die cuts have 2 pieces for the candy cane. So let me just grab those and show those to you. So what I did earlier is I cut the whisper white out of the outline, or the bigger piece, and then the detail piece I cut out of cherry cobbler. And then same thing, I matched up my candy cane colors to my ribbon and ink for these ones. It just makes it look a little nicer, even though a traditional candy cane is more red, green, and white. But I think it just looks cool if you can match them up. It always looks nice if you can have at least 3 different colors in your display. I don't know why, like even when I photograph them together, it just looks far, far better. So then I'll just take a little bit of the Tombow here, just a few little dots, dot, 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 and flip this over. And I'll bring these two pieces together. Okay, and then let me just set some of these things aside so not everything's in the way. And I'll use a mini glue dot, and I'm just going to add it to the back bottom of this candy cane. Okay, it's there. And then you can just slide this in and just kind of look and see how you like it from the front. I like it with one mini glue dot. You can still manipulate it a little bit. So just kind of see how you like it, if you want it a little bit on an angle. And then when you feel like you've got it in a good spot, then you just kind of give it a little press on the back. And then it kind of stays in place so it doesn't shift around anymore, but it's just kind of sitting there. So aren't those so cute? I just think that you should take that paper and make one of every color of the plaid. That's what I feel like doing. But last night I ran out of time, so I just did 3. But I think they just look so adorable. So what do you think, guys? Do you like them? So what I suggest you do is make sure you're on my email list so you can get the project sheet. And if you're a new subscriber, don't worry, you will be also able to get the project sheet. I'm mailing them out on Saturday, so just subscribe before Saturday. The link is down below. And then if you subscribe after, if you're watching this later on, don't worry, I've got you covered too. You will be sent this tutorial. So don't worry about that. And if you like my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. And there's also a little notification bell. So make sure if you want to be notified of my videos or my upcoming live videos, make sure you click on the notification bell so that you can get notified of those. All right, guys, if you need any of the supplies, if you want to be my customer, listen, I've got a lot of great tutorials that I just give to my customers. So if you make a purchase from me of at least $15 in my store, I have extra tutorials that I send out that are just for my customers. I don't publish those anywhere. They're just for my customers. So if you would like to earn one of those for free, just go ahead and click through to my blog. The supply list for this tutorial is down at the bottom, and you can just click on it, make a purchase, and then I will send you a tutorial of your choice. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I have one more project this week with a Cup of Christmas. It is a 3D project, so I know you're gonna love it. And I will be doing another YouTube live for that. All right, have a great week, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.